What's up, gamers, and welcome back to another video. So, last week Blizzard just made a major announcement for a new iteration of WoW Classic called Season of Discovery, where they're promising everyone with a new experience with brand new class design, new quests, and new raids to explore with your friends. But is all the hype and anticipation justified, or should the player base be prepared to be sodomized? You get the joke, right? Anyways, since every YouTuber is trying to stay relevant by overhyping this game, here are my 5 top reasons why Season of Discovery will be a massive flop. But before we dig in, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button as it helps out the channel. Ever since the start of Vanilla WoW, bots, gold farmers, and Blizzard have been playing a game of cat and mouse. As the game has evolved, gold farmers have been getting smarter by finding new ways to bot, becoming harder to detect, and hiding away from the normal player base. As each expansion unfolds, gold farmers start hoarding resources, manipulating markets, and distorting the economic balance that each start of the expansion brings. By the end of each expansion, prices are driven to unreasonable prices, making it difficult for the average player to afford, and most players quit by then, realizing the economy is no longer sustainable without buying gold. Which brings me to my next main point. In every single classic expansion, Blizzard have let bots run rampant without taking an active stance to get rid of them when they start showing up. And when they do decide to take an active stance against botting by doing massive ban waves like twice a year, it's far too late and the damage has already been done, and then the bots just reappear a couple days later anyways. If Blizzard's not going to take an active stance, and I do mean active stance against botting and gold farmers in Season of Discovery, it'll ultimately undermine the integrity of the game, causing economic disparity for the average player, driving away the player base. I think what probably pisses me off the most is everyone pays $15 a month for this game, all for Blizzard to just not give a shit. Well, if you've been playing WoW for a while, you've probably noticed that there's a lot of versions of the game that you can be playing right now. There's Retail, Wrath of the Lich King, Hardcore Classic, Classic Era, and Season of Discovery. Now, don't get me wrong, multiple iterations of the game isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when Blizzard doesn't support any of them because they're too busy having frat parties in the Lactorium, it leaves all versions of the game abandoned and unsupported, which leads me into number 3. The lack of GM support can make players feel like their concerns are insignificant and their gaming experience unimportant. It's a reminder that the game we invest so much time in sometimes feels abandoned or uncared for. It seems as though Blizzard tends to forget that if they want a community to thrive, they need to be a part of that community themselves. I don't know about you, but I find it extremely frustrating when I open up a GM ticket and the wait times are a couple days long, and by the time the ticket is serviced, Blizzard just closes it with an automated response and no action taken. With so many changes coming to Season of Discovery, I imagine there's going to be a lot of real problems like balancing and bugs that are going to need attention. If Blizzard chooses to take the same approach as Season of Mastery and not work with the community to fix the fundamental problems of the game, I'm sure they'll find themselves losing a massive part of their community after Phase 1. I think a lot of people are thrilled that Blizzard is finally taking a chance to try something new and go into a different direction. But why is it releasing as a season as opposed to an expansion? People have been asking for Classic Plus since the end of Vanilla Classic, and Blizzard has had over 2 years to develop the game and take it into a new direction. If Blizzard just used a little bit of their passion for removing genders and other non-value things out of the game and redirect it towards the actual game development, then we could have had a full-fledged game ready for launch. Instead, Blizzard focused on the copy and paste aspect of releasing content over the last couple of years just to keep the subscribers subbed for longer. I think what worries me the most about this release being a season as opposed to an expansion was the last season of Mastery was complete dog shit. All Blizzard did was change the way the PvP system worked, which forced people to rank if they wanted to be competitive in raids, and then they also tuned the boss fights so that only meta classes could raid. It basically sidelined meme specs, making the game less fun. On top of that, the pacing of the game felt completely off, where the players would have to rush through the content just to try to remain relevant within the game, and the only people left at the end of the game were a small handful of raiders who wanted to experience Nax for the 10th time. We all know that Blizzard has held off putting an in-game store into WoW Classic due to the backlash it's received from the player base. As Blizzard slowly added services and cosmetics to the classic WoW store through the different releases, it wasn't until Wrath of the Lich King that Blizzard decided to fully implement the WoW token. With the launch of Season of Discovery, I imagine this will be Blizzard's prime opportunity to implement a full-fledged store ripe with high-quality mounts, unobtainable items, and pay-to-win mechanics. These high-quality purchases devalue the flex items that are obtained just by playing the game, and we all know the WoW token is just another way of implementing a pay-to-win, especially when the primary raid modes are GDKPs. I think Blizzard has the opportunity to give the community what they've been asking for, an opportunity to revitalize a stale game and create something special that the community can tend to appreciate. The way Season of Discovery looks to be shaping up is what Blizzard has been missing for so many years now, a sense of creativity. Allowing new class roles, itemization, and specs with new abilities will breathe new life into the game that strays away from the cookie cutter builds that people are used to. I think what excites me, though, most is seeing what their plans are for the new zones that were always a part of the game but never finished. As an explorer myself, finding new spots was always an exhilarating way to step into the game designer's shoes just to see what they were thinking. What made Vanilla so special was the immersiveness of the world and the sense of exploration along the way. The game was simple at its core and easy to pick up. The game also thrived on a sense of community, and that's what made it the success it was. But Blizzard needs to be an active part of that community, working with the player base and not just some mythical creature that arrives twice a year to do massive bandwaves of bots, all for them just to reemerge a couple days later. It also worries me that there's not enough development that went into the game given it's only releasing as a season with level restrictions instead of a complete release like an expansion. In conclusion, I'm hoping Blizzard can get this right so that they can have a new long-lasting iteration of WoW that people can remember and cherish, but with how their other releases have gone, I can't say that I'm overly confident. Well, that's going to do it for me today. If you like this style of content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.